Are y'all ready to watch people die?
If you believe the stories, mankind's pride gave rise to the Darkspawn. Countless in number and toxic to all life.
I never watched this, so I'm
Darkspawn
excited.
search endlessly for an archdemon. When they find one, Darkspawn armies surge up from their corrupt barrows beneath the ground, and a blight begins.
The farthest I've ever
Grey
saw
Wardens
was
are
the
only
beginning,
warriors capable
like this
of
section.
destroying an archdemon, and history always honors the one who sacrifices all to kill the beast. In the 5th Blight, the Warden was the hero of Ferelden, a mage living in the Circle Tower at Lake Calenhad.
You ordered two pickle
by another
feet.
mage, the hero became
You're
snared
right.
in the Circle's dangerous politics. Duncan, a Grey Warden, helped the mage escape to a new life as a warden. The allied Ferelden and Grey Warden forces met in Ostagar, where King Kaelin's armies and a host of wardens gathered, ready to destroy the Darkspawn. But valor turned to despair as Loghain betrayed his king. Kaelin's forces were slaughtered, and the south was lost. The hero, now a full-fledged Grey Warden, survived with the aid of Flemeth, the mysterious witch of the wilds.
I
Joined
love
by Flemeth's
Morrigan.
daughter, Morrigan,
I'm so
and a Grey Warden named
upset
Alistair, the hero
that
set out
you
to
can't
build an army
romance her
strong
as a
enough
woman.
to abolish the blight.
Just like Cassandra.
With the traitorous Loghain now seated on
Fuck
Ferelden's
Loghain.
throne,
I
the
hate
Warden
this
sought
bitch.
help from the influential Arl Eamon of Redcliffe. However, they arrived in Redcliffe to find the town under siege. As each night, undead rose in waves and assailed the battered village. The hero departed Redcliffe without lending aid to its people. A devastating attack followed. The wardens reached Arl Eamon's castle only to find the Arl lying at the edge of death, and his court fallen into madness.
Oh no.
To save his father's life, Eamon's young son, Connor, had made a deal with a demon, and quickly fallen victim to its possession. The demon's influence over Connor was briefly broken, but the young mage succumbed again to the demon's hold. But deals with demons are never straightforward. The demon agreed only to save Eamon's life, not restore him to health. Arl Eamon needed a
You know,
miracle
it's
to
fine. I
recover.
got blood magic. Buy
The hero
it.
located an urn containing
So,
the
you know,
sacred
it was
ashes
worth
of
it.
Andraste, which were said to cure any ailment. The urn was protected by ancient traps,
Why are we talking about
tests of
pickle
will,
feet now?
and a dragon-worshipping cult that wanted to twist the urn's power to its own ends. The cultists encouraged the hero to profane the ashes
That's
with
hot.
dragon's blood, which caused the urn and its contents to shatter.
Oh.
With a pinch of the ashes, the hero restored the Arl to health. Informed of Loghain's treachery, Eamon swore his political and military support. The circles of Magi are bound by oath to aid the Grey Wardens in times of blight. However,
It
Lake
is actually a
Calenhad's
real
tower
place.
could offer
Pickles
little
is a
help.
real place you could go to.
One of its mages, Uldred, had become possessed by a pride demon and was twisting other circle mages into abominations. The hero brought the tower under control using the rite of annulment to eliminate every mage.
Oh no.
Grateful for the help, the tower's Templars joined the Warden's army. The
It's a real
allies
place, you
gained
can
that the
go
Circle
there.
were not the only soldiers to join the Warden's forces, however. Dalish elves don't usually make alliances, but even deep hatred can be set aside in the face of oblivion. An ancient curse was destroying Ferelden's largest Dalish clans.
You want to know something? This Dalish clan is your clan in Inquisition if you choose to be a Dalish elf. Fun fact.
Turning the elves into werewolves. Zathrian, the clan's keeper, claimed that the cure required the heart of the great wolf, Witherfang. Years before, Zathrain himself had afflicted a group
Why
of
does he say
humans with the curse
Zathrain?
that
No,
now ravaged his
Zathrain.
clan. As long as he lived, the curse endured. Swayed by the pleas of the Lady of the Forest, the hero eliminated the Dalish and gained the werewolves as allies. Blights may happen hundreds of years apart, but the dwarves who live below the surface of Thedas fight darkspawn every day. No one is better schooled in battling darkspawn
Yeah,
than the
it
warriors
is.
of Orzammar.
These are the alliances
Except
that you
perhaps
need.
their allies of old.
Very
the Grey
spoily.
Wardens. The hero arrived in Orzammar in the wake of King Endrin's death to find political factions fighting for control of the dwarven capital. Only the vote of a venerated paragon could break the deadlock to elect a ruler, and order the dwarves to honor their Grey Warden treaty and join the battle against the new blight. The hero set off to find a paragon named Branka, who had disappeared into the deep roads in search of a legendary artifact, the Anvil of the Void, created by the renowned smith Caridin to forge mighty war golems. With Branka's help, the hero restored the Anvil
Well, that's
of the
good,
Void,
because that
and
is
a small
spoilers,
army
so
of powerful golems joined the
you'll
Warden's
forget
forces.
every single thing, most likely, if
The
you're that
hero
tired.
emerged from the deep roads with a master-forged crown to bestow the Paragon's favor upon whichever rival candidate would be crowned king. Balin, the youngest son of King Endrin who was suspected of foul play, or Haramont, the aging traditionalist backed by the Dwarven Assembly.
I chose Haramon.
Lord Haramont
Yep.
claimed the crown of Orzammar. His traditionalist values keep dwarves first in all things, and safely as far underground as possible.
If you choose him, it's so
With Jordan's strength now bolstering the Warden's army,
so
the hero had
bloody.
to deal with Loghain, so Ferelden could stand unified against the Darkspawn before the Blight swallowed the world.
Oh,
The kingdom
no.
of Ferelden stood divided. While some nobles supported Loghain's regency, others condemned his inaction against the Darkspawn. Civil war brewed, and Arl Eamon called a landsmeet in hopes of curtailing the conflict and removing Loghain from the throne. Alistair ended Loghain's life in the name of justice for the Wardens who died at Ostagar. As the Warden's united army massed in
they're
Redcliffe,
just so
the
like
Darkspawn
picking up his
overran
head.
Denerim, laying siege
Just
to
holding his head.
Ferelden's
What the
capital
fuck?
city. The hero's army fought valiantly through Denerim and broke the Darkspawn siege. On Fort Dracon's highest tower, the hero's strongest allies fought alongside the Warden in a final heroic battle against the massive archdemon.
Ew,
Alistair
yeah.
made a Grey Warden's ultimate sacrifice, giving his life to kill the archdemon and end the blight. With no archdemon to lead them, the Darkspawn scattered.
Me sad.
Most fled underground, still teeming in number and always seeking a new archdemon to awaken. The shattered kingdom of Ferelden embarked on a long journey to recovery. In the Blight's aftermath,
Yeah, it
strong
is.
leadership was crucial.
Very big
Honora
dragon.
McTeer, daughter of Terran Loghain and widow of King Kaelin, assumed the throne of Ferelden after the Fifth Blight was ended. Ferelden still stands, as obstinate and resolute as the Dog Lords ever are, but the events of the Fifth Blight loom over it as the nation rebuilds. For people across Thedas,
yeah.
legends of the hero of Ferelden remain the nation's brightest beacons of hope during its darkest times. It all began in Kirkwall, the
Now we're on
fall of
Dragonage
Knight
too.
Commander Meredith, the Qunari uprising, and of course, the Chantry's destruction and the onset of Mage rebellion. One person always stood amidst the swirling chaos: Hawk, the champion of Kirkwall. The Hawk family fled Lothering,
I
refugees
love
from the Blight.
both of these games so
Leandra,
much.
mother of the champion, and siblings Bethany and Carver, hoped to find refuge at her family's estate in Kirkwall, far to the north. While Hawk had no magical abilities, the champion was at the heart of events that ultimately led to the Mage Rebellion. The Hawks escaped the Blight with the help of Aveline
Ew,
Valette,
I
a
don't
warrior
like
and
her.
family friend.
I don't like
It's
Aveline.
said that the family
She
was
annoys
also
me.
aided by Flemeth, the
She's
notorious
nightmare.
witch of the wilds.
Hawk?
Hawk's brother, Carver,
Nightmare.
never reached the free marches. He
Literally,
was killed by Darkspawn.
all
while
my companions were
protecting his family.
terrified of me, except for
The
Anders, and I
family's first
love
years
that.
in Kirkwall were difficult.
It's mean to me
Leandra's
when I was a
brother Gamlen
mage. She was
had lost
rude.
the family fortune. The Hawks lived in poverty, forced to indenture themselves in return for entrance to the city. To pay off the debt, Hawk was forced to work for a band of mercenaries. All the while, Hawk and Bethany did their best
The
to hide
guy
Bethany's magic
for
from
the mercenaries,
Templars.
he's creepy. I don't like him.
Opportunity eventually struck in the form of a dwarf named Bartrand Tethras, who was planning an expedition to the Deep Roads. It was a long shot, but with gold gained from the expedition, Hawk could free the family from its criminal creditors and further Templar scrutiny. Hawk met a rogue Grey Warden named Anders, who possessed detailed maps of the Deep Roads. These maps were crucial to the expedition's success. Once Hawk obtained them, everything else fell quickly into place. Afraid to lose another sibling,
sexy
Hawk insisted
man.
that Bethany stay in Kirkwall rather than accompany the expedition. Hawk did find
Anders.
ancient dwarven treasure, but the group also stumbled upon a statuette formed from a strange red lyrium. Upon returning to the surface, Hawk found Templars taking Bethany away. Her magic had been discovered. She joined a mage circle soon after.
Oh no.
The gold Hawk recovered from the Deep Roads brought back Leandra's stately childhood home in Hightown.
Why was
The
you don't
Hawks
take
had
the
barely
gold?
settled into their new home when Leandra was murdered. A deeply sinister and twisted killing. Hawk hunted down Quentin,
Or do you just get
the
it
blood
either
mage
way?
responsible, but could not prevent Leandra's death. Leandra's tragic death was part of a critical problem facing Kirkwall. Rising tension between the city's mages, who felt increasingly oppressed, and Templars, who grew increasingly suspicious of their activities.
Oh, fine.
Adding to the strain, a large contingent of Qunari had also established themselves in Kirkwall, much to the growing discomfort of the city's rulers. After their dreadnought was shipwrecked many years before, a group of stranded Qunari were allowed to remain in a cordoned-off area in Lowtown. As time passed, the Qunari made no effort to return home, and offered no explanation about why they remained. Tensions rose to a breaking point. Revered Mother Patrice, convinced the Qunari were a threat to the Chantry's faith, incited violence between the Qunari and the Kirkwall populace.
Of course.
Hawk
I don't
knew
like
that
her
Patrice
at
would
all.
bring about unnecessary conflict. Though the champion tried to stop her, Patrice orchestrated the murder of Seamus Dumar, a Viscount's son and a
I wish I
recent convert
sided
to the
with
Q.
her, but I'm not
When her
gonna
crime
change
was
that.
discovered, the
So.
Qunari assassin killed her. After Seamus was murdered, the
But I
Aragog
don't
of
like
the
her,
Qunari
so.
group lost patience with the humans of Kirkwall. They would now submit to the Qun or die.
Oh no.
The Qunari struck hard and fast. They took the palace in Hightown and beheaded the Viscount to immediately quash any resistance. Aided by Knight Commander Meredith and First Enchanter Orsino, Hawk reached the palace.
The only
and
time
stood
they
toe-to-toe
actually
with the
sided
fearsome Qunari
helped each
leader.
other, really.
Hawk fought the Qunari leader.
I like
The fierce
Theo
battle
too.
resulted
Same.
in the
I don't really
Arashok's
leave my
death
house
and the
ever. I
liberation
hate
of
it.
Kirkwall from its brief
Hate leaving.
occupation. The Qunari quickly withdrew from the city entirely. Hawk saved Kirkwall and earned the grudging respect of the city's Templars, mages, and nobility, along with the title that history remembers, the Champion of Kirkwall.
The champion of
Kirkwall's problems were still not
Kirkwall.
over, however. After Viscount Dumar's death, Knight Commander Meredith took power and blocked all attempts to appoint a new Viscount.
Do wish they kind of
Under
showed
Meredith's command, the Templars
DLCs
tightened
as
their
well.
grip on the mages, planning to suppress what Meredith saw as a growing rebellion. Anders, who spent years fighting for justice and freedom for his fellow mages, saw that the time for negotiation was past. He destroyed Kirkwall's chantry, killing hundreds, including Grand Cleric Elthina. This single act began a rebellion that spread from circle to circle, until all circles of Magi had risen up in defiance against Chantry rule.
He knew exactly what he
There
was
was
doing.
no forgiveness for what Anders had done, and he asked for death at Hawk's hands. Hawk fulfilled the troubled mage's final request, and many others died along with Anders that day.
I hated
Fighting spread
killing
swiftly
him.
through the city. Some mages rebelled openly, many of them succumbing to possession. Templars turned their swords on mages who rebelled and on those who did not. As First Enchanter Orsino refused to bend to the Templars, Knight Commander Meredith demanded that every mage in Kirkwall be put to the sword. The Templars found an ally in the champion, who fought alongside them to quash the rebellious mages. In the end, the Templars placed Hawk on the Viscount's throne, for a time at least. The battle proved
Yeah, she
one
was
thing.
a
Knight
she was a
Commander Meredith had
Viscount.
gone mad. Hawk saw the truth of it when Meredith unsheathed her sword,
Oh,
and the
please
red
don't,
lyrium
Bobby.
idol from the deep roads was embedded within it. The blade fueled her hatred and paranoia.
I
as it
know how
had
to
for
make you
months.
feel better.
After a horrific battle, the red lyrium of the Knight Commander's sword consumed her as she died.
That's literally the best emo I've ever
Meredith
seen in
became
my
a
life.
statue.
Thank you.
Her face a frozen mask of horror. Little is known of the champion since that final battle. However, Hawk's story lives on in legend and song. Memories of the indelible changes champion of Kirkwall brought to the face
Anyways.
of Thedas. The Mage Rebellion in Kirkwall was felt throughout Thedas, the news spreading like wildfire.
Thank you for working, Moo.
The Templars clamped down in response, but each new restriction only made things worse.
Oh no.
Led by Grand Enchanter Fiona, the mages voted for independence. The Circle of Magi would govern itself, without the Chantry and especially without the Templars. The result was cataclysmic. 2 circles were destroyed. Those within killed to the last mage, before the rest fled into the wilderness.
Hot.
Perhaps the mighty empire of Orlais could have intervened.
Yeah, you
in
say
the
that
war
now.
before it began,
That's gonna do it again.
but that was not to be. Grand Duke Espard began a deadly civil war against Empress Celine, vying for the Orlesian throne. The mages were offered safe haven in neighboring Ferelden, but the Templars followed, and so
What do you
their battle
mean?
spread across all of Thedas. As head of the Chantry, Divine Justinia ordered the Templars to
I'm
stand
confused.
down.
What do you mean, Fox?
They refused, declaring their own independence. Thus, the war began in earnest. Templars hunting mages, mages fighting Templars. Their clashes wreaked untold destruction.
I play more than
All
just
sense of
Dark
order was
Souls.
falling to pieces.
I've been playing Dragonage and
Divine
Dark Souls.
Justinia made one
And I'm starting the
final
third game right now.
desperate bid to end the war. She approached the leaders of both sides and convinced them to come to a conclave held on neutral ground. With the Chantry to mediate, mages and Templars will talk for the first time since this all began. It is our last, and perhaps our only, chance for peace.